Hello everybody and welcome to Slay the Spire, playing as the Watcher on Ascension 2, which means normal enemies are deadlier. One of the options is enemies in your next 3 combats have 1 HP, and we do have the opportunity for sniping an elite through this path here. So that's what I'm going to take, and then after that elite, it's nice we have choices between elites and campfires based on our needs, and I really like choices like that when playing the Watcher. So there goes that fight. Piece of cake. Cut through fate. Sure. Alright. Could have used different upgrades, but with enemies being deadlier, I suppose we will be having to block a little more often. At least in the early game. Sure. We'll take one of the non-upgraded defense. There we go. So that's pretty nice. We get to have the compensated remaining defense while pulling out a defend. Empty Fist seems really good. Very potent 1 energy attack, and the ability to drop out of stances can be useful. At this point I think I'm still going to go with Eruption. This is my go-to anyways, but I have seen some higher end streamers do things like find a Tantrum and then just actually remove this card. Not sure why, because 1 energy to do 9 damage as well as enter Wrath seems fine to me. But I'm guessing it's to be able to preserve their upgrades. So we really need this to not be a hallway. Nah, okay. Well, I guess we gotta fight the elite straight up then. Are we ready? Well, we do have a stance potion. That's kind of helpful. Oh! Ragnarok can be spicy. I usually don't give Ragnarok too much play, because 5 by 5, that's 25 divided by 3. That's like 8 1/3. Not a great exchange rate per energy, but I mean, like Crush Joints and Sash Whip, which we would take, are only 8, and this upgrades to 6 by 6, which is 36. That's 12 per energy, whereas those other ones only do 10. Our power level's not so great right now, so this is actually not bad, I don't think. And then when you think in terms of like duplication potion and liquid memories, having a lot of power wrapped up into a single card, even if, you know, because sometimes we just won't cast it. So I think this is the play. It is interesting how Wreath of Flame would make this card significantly better. Double its power, in fact. So now that we have that, maybe we pick up a Wreath of Flame. I don't know. We'll see. Gremlin Knob. Alright. Let's just do this. Since the miracle's no good. Well, I shouldn't say no good, but the miracle, if you have a reason to play it turn 1 against Gremlin Knob, all the better. Hey, there's Ragnarok. It's worth 50 damage right now, so that just ends the fight. Sweet. So yeah, I think the biggest problem is having the energy to be in Wrath and be able to cast Ragnarok. Whoa, Omniscience. 3 Omniscience for Ragnarok? That sounds like a lot of fun. If we do choose this card, then that means that we have to save the miracle for Omniscience, because its casting cost is 4 until we can upgrade it. And I'm assuming they only made it cost 4 because of that. So, a little bit of an awkward card there. Although I think one of the classes has a card called Meteor Strike, which has a casting cost of 5 or something, if I remember correctly. I forget what it does. Sounds like a defect card, because I think its effect is something about giving energy. Anyways, I already have an Empty Fist. Not that it's bad to have a second one. Follow-up can give you some reach if you don't have it, but we kind of have it. So I'm saying let's lean into the Ragnarok. Like, it's early enough that that could be the central focus. I do think we should use that power level to knock over elites, though. I know there's a couple campfires here, and we could make Omniscience cost 3 and make Ragnarok do 36. But we have ways of playing around this, and this being only worth 25 is not a problem yet. So I think I want to use this energy level to be knocking over elites. Uh-oh. Well, one nice thing about Ragnarok is it doesn't exhaust, so on the second time through the deck we might be able to Omniscience for it. And let's see, 2 strikes and an empty fist is only 21 damage. This is 25, so yeah, let's go for it. Oh yeah, I should probably end my turn, huh? We have 218 gold. The only number I have tattooed on my body. Alright, let's just go ahead and block what we can. One of the things I find awkward about the Watcher in the early game is the way you kind of have to enter calm in order to be able to get anything out of Wrath. We do have the empty fist, so I think it's safe to do this. And we can do that. Omniscience. And we are in Wrath, and we have the miracle. Ooh, this is 100 damage, isn't it? Because we're in Wrath. Look at this. Yep, 100 damage. Nice. Lantern! That should make for some interesting turn ones. I like that. My opinion on indignation has gone up and down. The times when Watcher can go infinite or approach infinite, having a permanent, and by permanent I mean not crescendo, way of entering Wrath is handy. But it, I don't know, concludes very potent as well. Our potency is wrapped up in Ragnarok anyways. And when I play the Watcher, I've noticed that the single target hype can be just as good as AoE. And the end your turn can be awkward. I think I'll go with the indignation here. I think this plays better with Ragnarok in general. And we do have free 4th energy on turn 1 now. So I mean we could even indignation, miracle, omniscience for Ragnarok to do 100 damage. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have taken the conclude. Oh. Oh, you know what? We, like I was just saying, because of the extra energy from the lantern, we can do this, AoE vulnerable, and now Ragnarok's going to do 75, which should be enough to kill all of this. Wow. That lantern's going to be clutch right now. I think Halt's a good pickup. Even with the lantern, cards like Ragnarok and Omniscience are going to be very demanding. We have a second way to enter Wrath. Ideally, we want to be hanging out in Wrath so that Ragnarok is more serviceable. So I think the Halt here makes a lot of sense. I used to sleep on that card, and I think it's hard to take the card seriously because of its card art, but it should be noted that these are 2 separate gainings of blocks, so if you have dexterity, that card will double dip. Try sentries. We can omniscience for Ragnarok. Okay. I was just looking if there's any way to cut through fate to find a way to get into Wrath first, but obviously if Ragnarok was our top card, cut through fate would be disastrous. So this is kind of nice. It gets the Ragnarok and the Omniscience out of our deck, so we can just play the rest of the hand straight up. I'll play this. There's no way to gain block here with just the 1 energy. So I think I'll save the miracle. What's our next hand likely to be? One way to enter Wrath, and probably no need to enter Wrath. That's complicated. I can see it going either way, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get myself in the habit of holding on to the Miracle for when I have an express purpose in playing it. Okay. So like here, when you play with a one-cost Eruption, you get used to card numbers like 21 and 33, which is just over 32. So we can go ahead and just nuke this guy here. We'll Miracle for the Defend Plus. We'll take 10, but now we get to stay in Wrath, which makes the rest of the fight pretty straightforward, I think. Indignation does nothing here. But all we have is a 3 energy, so we can do this to strip away the artifacts. Not that I think there's going to be any reason to... Oh, and then this is lethal. Cool, so we just have all this excess block. Nice. Could have done a full block on one of these while in Wrath. I like that. Thank you, Halt. Uh-oh. Okay, well, we have to exit Wrath, which is a little unfortunate, but we have 2 ways of entering Wrath. So, with the energy and him being at 23. I guess mostly we have to worry about the dazed. But here's this. Alright, let's finally end this fight, shall we? So yeah, I usually avoid Ragnarok. Because, like, there's been runs where I'll have the Act 1 boss cards, all rares. Ragnarok's one of them, and it's usually not a worthy pick. But so far, it's working out for us, I would say. Inner Peace would give us another way to enter Calm for 1 energy. Also potential draw, which is always good. Meditate. Yeah, we're building around Ragnarok, but that's kind of like a delayed thing. It could be used to hold on to Omniscience when we're about to reshuffle our deck. I could see it coming into play. I think Inner Peace is just more reliable, especially since... And I really like the ability to draw if we're already in Calm. That's a tough call. The thing with having Ragnarok is I don't want to necessarily focus on that. I don't know, it's either one of these could get us closer to like an Omniscience or a Ragnarok in their own way. I don't know, times like this I wish I did stream the game just so I could see what you guys thought here. Well, since I chose Indignation just because of the class's potential for infinite, I'll go ahead and take Inner Peace over Meditate. I don't think Meditate's I love Meditate as a card. I don't think it would have been a problem to pick there. But I think I've also been sleeping on Inner Peace, so... 5 energy, sure, why not? There we go, now Ragnarok does 75 damage. Wee bit of overkill. A bottle potion. Wow, we have energy on tap. That makes the choosing of Ragnarok a good deal. Okay, so right now we have 2 ways of entering Wrath, 2 ways of entering Calm, and a way of dropping Stance. I definitely think Flurry Blows is a good pickup. And I do like the way the 0 casting cost fits in with the way that Ragnarok and Omniscience constrain our energy. Although we do have the Miracle, we do have a Lantern, we now have a bottle. Like, I don't see energy being a problem in the immediate future. Well, this plus this kills him, so we don't have to worry. Oh, and we can just pick up Ragnarok and Miracle for it. While in Wrath. Dang. We are getting a lot of work out of this thing. Blessing of the Forge. We do have our two big cards that are both unupgraded. And we don't really want to be getting hit. So maybe I ditch this for that. Crushed Joints, another way to apply Vulnerable, makes Ragnarok more potent. Alternatively, we could pass. More often than not, I find that Indignation is just a way to enter Wrath. So, okay, let's get this Omniscience. Now we don't have to save the Miracle or have to use it on turn 1 or some facsimile thereof. Actually, you know what? Nah, this is too restrictive. I was thinking let's do Ragnarok first. And I don't think it would be bad. I think even with the Miracle and the Lantern, Omniscience still makes sense. Okay. Let us Flurry of Blows, put ourselves in Wrath because we have a couple turns to just do whatever we want with this guy. For that reason, I don't see a reason to enter Calm here. Even though this is something of a waste of energy. There's Ragnarok. Wouldn't it be great if Omniscience ended up being the last card in our deck, so we reshuffle and then we get to Ragnarok again? I think so. This will definitely put him beyond the break point. So I'll go ahead and Miracle Eruption just to make those guys as small as possible. Now, again, because we upgraded the Omniscience, I'm free to use the Miracle, which is nice. Hey, look at that. Omniscience is going to be the last card in our deck. Okay, well, that's a skill. It enables this, which makes this way past the split point. Very cool. So now all we gotta do is hope that Ragnarok's not in our hands so we can have some more overkill fun. And thanks to the signs, we got our wish. There we go. 100 damage. Sure, why not? Wow. Yeah, I don't normally choose Ragnarok, but... I do think almost always Ragnarok's the best of these 3 cards, so it's not even that we're playing into a gimmick. And this would definitely give our Omniscience a greater chance of being able to fetch it. I'm going for it. It's just too much fun. It's been doing really well. Obviously, come Act 2, the shape of the game changes slightly. Oh, come on. Okay, pardon the edit. I had to deliberate for quite some time. And it's still a tough call. Basically, the downside to this is pretty steep, especially since we're going to have some awkward turns. If we have both Ragnaroks in hand or a Ragnarok and an Omniscience, we might have to stall as we add more cards to the deck to do our central output thing. Nevertheless, we can make up for that with blocking, especially if we have an extra energy with which to do that. So that'll do it for Act 1. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will catch you in the next act. Take care.